Hi, it's Chris Voss here from the chrisvossshow.com, the chrisvossshow.com. Current blog post, I'm going to share the Chris review, the latest in social media and technology. We're reviewing today the Moto X, the new AT&T.com Moto X from Motorola. And this is going to be pretty cool, the kind of Google phone, if you will. So we're going to be reviewing this and giving a few benchmark tests, camera tests, show you the photos we're getting, all that sort of good stuff. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube, and all that good stuff so you can see how cool this phone is, and also watch for all the versus comparison videos we're going to be doing with all the AT&T phones. Let's check it out. Hi, it's Chris Voss here from the chrisvossshow.com, the chrisvossshow.com. Come to your blog post, I want to show you. Of course, like our videos, subscribe to us on YouTube, and be sure to follow us at the chrisvossshow.com so you can see all the great reviews we do of phones and other tech gadgets. This is my new Moto X phone from the good folks at AT&T. That's AT&T.com, bringing you lots of great phones that we reviewed. Be sure to search for them on the Chris Voss Show. Anyway, this is the packet that came in the mail. I've ordered this special so that it has a special marking of the Chris Voss Show on the back. So what we have here is we have kind of like this little diskette or something. I'm not really sure what it is. It looks like some discs or some instructions. Unlock your phone with a single tap on the Moto X. Let's go ahead and open this up. We'll find out what's in here. If we can do that. Find the edges. This is kind of an adventure. I don't normally see this in, when we do phone unboxing, so you get to share the fun of this with me. Looks like this is some sort of clip that probably has an NFC chip in it. And meet Motorola Skip, the wearable accessory that unlocks your phone with a single tap. Hello, Motorola Skip, goodbye pin. So how's that for interesting? Before you do anything else, download the Motorola Skip setup application, blah, blah, blah. On your phone, go to blah, blah, blah. NFC is enabled. These are Motorola Skip dots, so these must be for NFC related that are in sticker form. So that's what that's all about, the NFC stuff, and a little bit of information there. So we have the box in and of itself. Read me before you turn the power on first. I guess when I open it, we'll do that. You can see here, it has a cool little box, sort of colors and all that. So let's go ahead and give it a slice, see what's inside. Unboxing the Moto X. I've been excited to take a look at this. It's kind of a different sort of setup in the way most mobile phones are taken, presented, sold, all that sort of good stuff. You basically go to your AT&T store, or you can probably order online, and then you place your order. They give you a voucher. You go online, and you can literally design and pick your color, which I did, and you can also take and decide if you want like initials or something on the back. So let's do the thing. This is first, make sure the phone is off, and then go to AT&T activations. Call this number, your phone number to activate, or the account shipping number, billing, or zip code. So you've got a new phone number on Motorola. What's next? Moto Care. We've got your back. Let's take a look at what's in the box. So we can do that. And wow, this is pretty cute. Let's see, I think we skipped something. Oh wow, there we go. All right. Now, originally I would have the Chris Voss Show put on the back, but I know AT&T was trying to rush these out to us, so they may have skipped that part. Looks like they may have. That, or I didn't fill out the form right. But it's got a nice thin back to it. It looks really good. Nice and thin and everything else. Kind of has a kind of rubbery back to it a little bit, and the sides, I don't know if that's the initial feel. You can see the screen there. Now this is always on, so it's always going to be listening to me. You can see here we've got a few of your plugs, cables, and this might be some more NFC stickers or chips, or nope, this is for pulling in and out the SIM card. So we have that there. Let's go ahead and open up this other thing. This looks like it's some materials. Let's get started. Be safe and protect and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate it, come back and tell you what we really think. Okay, so let's take a look at the Moto X from AT&T, thanks to our good friends at AT&T. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down first the specs on the Moto X from Motorola. I've been using it for about 24 hours. It's a nice little phone. It's got Android 4.2.2 on it. You're looking at a height of 5.09 inches, 2.57 in width, and 0.41 inches in thickness. It's got a 4.59 ounce weight to it. Now the physical size is 4.7 inches on the screen display. It's got a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels and a pixel density of 316 ppi. Its battery talk time is 13 hours. Standby time is 240 hours, or I'm sorry, 10 days. Capacity, 2200 milliamp hour battery. The system chip in it is a Motorola X8. Now it's got a few different things Motorola's put on it. In the basic part of it, it's a Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro. It's a dual core chip, not a quad core. It's got a 1.7 megahertz crowd processor to it, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of built-in storage. Now I believe with AT&T you can get this also with 32 gigabytes of storage, you just pay a little bit more. And the camera is a 10 megapixel camera on the back. It's of course got a 1080p HD video, and this actually does 60 frames per second, which is pretty good. Most phones only do 30. The front-facing camera on it is 2 megapixels, and of course it's got NFC chip technology and all that sort of cool stuff. Now one thing that's really unique to the Motorola X, a lot of people have talked about, is it's always listening. It's basically, microphone is always on, so it can tell when you're in the car, it can tell when you talk to it. So you'll see right now, we'll do an example. You can open up anytime, and it trains in the settings to your voice. Okay, Google now. So as you can see here, help me. We've got the data turned off, I'm sorry. Normally this would take you into Google Now, but we have the data turned off so that we don't get all sorts of notifications during the recording. So what this would normally do is take you into Google Now. It'd be able to search stuff, look up stuff, you can call people, you can send an email or text to someone, etc., etc. I can say, okay, Google Now, send a text to my mom. I'm not sure if that's going to work. We can't get the data. So normally you can tell it even what to put in the subject and everything else, and it will go ahead and put that up, and then all you do is have to press the send button, and away you go. So it's pretty cool. A lot of people like it from that nature, where you don't have to press the button to activate Siri and other phones as you would, or on the Android product, Samsung has its own touch process where you push the button and it takes you into a speaker thing, or you can click on Google Now and go right to Google Now. So basically it's got the Google Now operation built into it, and it's always listening. And one of the things they did with the chip technology is they made it so that by having the microphone on all the time, it doesn't burn out your battery, which took an incredible amount of engineering, I'm sure, to get this balanced out. Now the beautiful part about the Moto X is you can go in, buy it online, or you can buy it in a store, and you can customize it to how you want it to be made. If you watch some of our other videos that we did, I walked you through the process of actually ordering this device and the different colors you can choose from, schemes, etc., etc. In this case, I ordered this particular device, and it came in the mail to me from AT&T or Motorola, probably after it got built. You can see here that I actually chose this white face and blue back, and originally we wanted some insignia in the back, which you can take and get. But we needed to get here pretty fast, so we didn't want to take time to do that, so we could bring this review to you. How about that? Now, you can see here, it's got pretty much a basic, I want to say basic's the wrong word. It's got the Motorola UI to it. If you're familiar with the Motorola UI, it's pretty standard on a lot of the Droid phones as we've reviewed them. You can see here you've got a quick tabs sort of area that you can get into off the notification menu, where you can take and go into things. One other element of the Moto X is it has a mode, much like many of the phones like the Samsung S4, it has a mode where if the phone's just sitting and notifications come in, it will just show like a little notification on the screen there for you. We don't have one that's of course going to come in as we're doing this, but normally you'd see like a little email or something that would come on. The other great thing is you can use that OK Google Now to unlock the phone. So if the phone is locked, without having to touch it, OK Google Now, I can pull the phone out of its standby without having to swipe the screen and unlock it. So a lot of people might like that effort where you don't have to put forth the effort to unlock the phone. So there you have it. So some interesting things they put in here. Let's take a look at a few other things that are within this these updates. Now there's a thing on here called Assist, which is very interesting. It has driving assist, meeting assist, and sleeping assist. Now what this can do is it can talk to you and read you text messages or tell you who's calling or resume music play while you're driving on the road. Now one of the things they put in the chip technology of the Moto X is the ability for the device to determine when you're driving. And also, of course, if the device is face down, etc., etc., basically, the thing is thinking all the time about what you're doing. So, it will sense automatically when you're driving, if you enable the assist feature, to take and tell you what's going on with your text messages, as opposed to you looking at them and crashing and killing someone, which is very important. Do not text and drive. So, there's the driving mechanism. There's meeting, where you can silence your phone while you're in meetings and create auto reply to folks. You can also turn on a sleeping feature so that the phone during your sleeping hours will not be bothering you. That's a nice feature for, I think, a lot of people. You actually go into the settings, you program it to your voice so that the phone learns that when you say, okay, Google now, that's your voice. It's programmed to your voice. I was joking with a friend of mine, Robert Scoble, that I would sneak up to his phone and start telling it things to do that might get him in trouble. And he says, no, it's programmed to your phone. Of course, once again, we have the data off. So you can see here across the top, we have some different sensors. We have a speaker for your phone calls. We have a front-facing camera. Down below, we have the microphone that's monitoring here, this little hole you can see here in the bottom. You have a capacitive touchscreen back button, home button, and of course a menu button that you can take and do. Actually, this isn't a menu button, this is more of a Windows button. In most of the Motorola environments, you're going to be looking at the menu button will be on the screen somewhere, so you can take and utilize that. So that will do it for the front. Let's take a look at the back. Now, on the back, what you have is a nice curved beveled back. It's very comfortable and easy to hold. It's nice and thin. I really like it. It's not too wide like some mobile phones are now. It is very comfortable in the hand, especially the way it's ergonomically kind of beveled. Now you've got your camera, your flash, and your speaker, and down below the AT&T logo. This little point here where the Motorola symbol is actually works really well. My finger tends to hold the phone in there, and it gives me a greater hold on the phone when I'm playing with it. Speaker, not too excited about. Had some trouble with people hearing me very well on speakerphone. So yeah, I'm not sure it's the greatest speaker that's ever been put in a phone. That was one thing I wasn't too excited about. Across the top, you can see here that we've got your microphone here, and then we've also got a centralized earphone jack. That works out really well for me. I like the centralized earphone jack, mainly because by having it centralized, you're not trying to pick one side, and if you have a favorite side of holding the phone, you don't have to choose how to hold your phone, if that makes any sense. There's a SIM card tray on the side, and it is a nano SIM card, which is pretty interesting. On the bottom, we just have a simple sync charge port, and on the right hand side we have a power button and a volume up and down rocker button. That's pretty much it. You can see how this is beveled too. It's got a nice rounded shape to it, and of course that makes it very easy to fit in your hand. You can also see that it kind of glides down at the bottom as it gets away from the top, so that makes a difference there. Okay, so here we're using the new Geekbench 3 app, so keep that in mind. This is not Geekbench 2, this is Geekbench 3, the new app on Android. So we'll be using these results here. And as you can see here, the single core score was 670, the multi-core score was 1257, and so there you have it. I think these scores are a little bit differently in how they score than the Geekbench 2 system, so it'll be interesting to see. I just was made aware that this was a new app that was out. So you can see here the breakdown of the different thing, one processor, 2 cores, etc., etc. You can see here the individual scores. You're welcome to pause this at any time if you want to look at these scores. I don't really worry about these scores individually from like an integer sort of base and all that sort of good stuff. I really don't care. I look at the overall score of the processors and how they work. So you can take and look through these, and the great thing is you can download these apps at home and play along to see how the phones do. Okay, so here you can see the AT&T benchmark score from the app. It's version 3.4, and this is the score that we took and got from it, 18,850 on the benchmarking. You can see the breakdown of RAM, CPU integer, CPU float, 2D graphics, 3D graphics, etc., all paged down through this so that you can see these if you want to take and compare them. Now, I won't be doing a full comparison today. What we'll be doing is doing a basic one. You can see another video that we'll be posting soon with all of the benchmarking comparisons, so you can do them also. Okay, so as you can see here, what we're doing is we're doing a display tester to see how well the display presents colors and everything else. You can see here we've got really distinct colors with the yellow, the light blues, the greens, and as they range and blend into each other, I can even see the good oranges, which you can't see on some of the older phones. Sometimes you can't even see the yellow very well. It just looks really blown out, but on here it looks really, really nice. So definitely great colorization, not as strong as the purple some other phones I can see, but I can definitely see a lot more orange than I see with some other phones. So great display abilities here. Okay, so let's take a look at the camera on the Moto X and see how it works and all that good stuff. Now, it's got some interesting features to it. You can see here there's a button at the top for video, and there's a button down at the bottom right for switching from your front camera to your back camera. There's also a zoom feature by moving your finger up and down. You can see in your upper left-hand corner there, you can do a zoom. You can also, pulling in from the left to the right, be able to activate HDR, flash, different settings, slow motion, etc., set a panoramic, all sorts of different things, etc., etc. You can even activate opening the camera by swiveling your wrist, kind of in a corkscrew motion. It takes a little bit of work to kind of figure out how to do the corkscrew thing, but I don't know, it's there. If you slide from the right to the left, you can get into your area of gallery to see the photos. So pretty simple in its nature. When you want to take a photo, you just put your finger at the point of focus you want to take and do, and it will take the photo for you and all that good stuff. So let's take a look at our gallery and some of the pictures that we got. Now, it takes really good pictures. The nice thing is it doesn't seem to be manufactured on the color and everything that the pictures will take. There's no, we've seen some companies that will take and give their photos more pop. The video is great. And of course, 60 frames per second on the video really gives it.
So we're testing how good the video camera is and everything else.
And it looks really nice. It does a good job. You can't complain at all. It does great video. It does great photos too. Of course, you can see those here. And of course, all the colors are well balanced. Now, one thing it did do is it took really good close-up kind of macro style shots. You can see here, this doesn't look as good as you can see it in real life, at least from what I'm seeing through the camera. But this is really close, almost a macro shot. I'm almost right up against the cactus when I shot this. And just a really good shot. As you can see, it's very detailed and very well done. So great camera from that angle. You can see here colors pop in the thing that it uses. Now the flash on it and the lamp for the video is really, really good. As you can see here, I had to work with a closet because it was the only dark space I could find in the middle of the day. Flash does an exceptional job of lighting up everything and, of course, being able to quickly focus and get you great pictures. Here's another totally dark closet that we're in. As you can see here, the lamp flash does a great job of lighting up a huge amount of light that is coming into it and making it a great experience with dark settings. So great camera from that angle. And the aspects of working with the swiping left, right, up and down sort of thing take a little while, a little bit to get used to, not much. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple and easy to do. Okay, so all in all, I really like the phone, and I think it's got some really cool features, especially some unique technology that Motorola has built into the chipset and the Google integration, if you will. I'm more excited to kind of see what they're going to come up with in the future of phones, and also, hopefully, this sort of technology is going to spread itself around the world of mobile phones to where all mobile phones will operate, where you can just say, hey, wake up, Mr. Phone. What I would love to see, too, is more voice commands that you can take and do to walk the commands through the process. With the Moto X, I can't get it to launch apps, where with other phones I can get it to launch apps, which is kind of a downer for me, considering it's supposed to be voice activated. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Someone can put that in YouTube comments. Anyway, other than that, it's a great phone. I love the feel of it, and it's pretty awesome. And it's a good phone for phones that are out there in the marketplace. So you can decide what's best for you. You can go to AT&T.com and see all the wonderful phones they gave us. Chris Voss tested, Chris Voss approved. And check out AT&T, and of course search on the Chris Voss Show for all the AT&T phones that we